Okay, so here we are in Jeff's shed again. I've got a nice cup of tea, and in front of me I've got the 4 Supercharger cases which have now been painted blue, engineer's blue. So why is that, Jeff?
What we're doing, you know the barrel, when we've got the grooves round?
Yep. You're now going to mark it off here?
Well, I'm going to mill them, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to scribe the points on here, because when you're working on the miller, I want to put the line, it gives you an idea where you're going.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to mark them, and when I put the web, when I put it across, I'm not going to scratch the blue, I'm going to put a line like that, and there'll be 2 lines scribed, probably so about a 10 mil, maybe 10 or 12 mil, and then the groove will only come. So basically when I mill it, I can just see it.
So the groove won't go all the way around, it's just going to have a break there. It's
going to basically, like you say, it'll say, that'll be the, if you look at it from the top, oop, that's looks like a load of, looks like fingers, 2 hands coming together. Oop.
Yeah, like that.
I know that's a bit crude, but
there'll be a gap in the middle.
That maybe 8 or 10 mil.
Okay.
Because as I was saying, if I mill through that, you'll see the dowels coming through.
Yeah.
I want to try and avoid breaking through with the bolt holes.
Okay.
So
that's one thing you're doing. And
you've
also been busy with one of those end cases. I can see at the end there. So let's go and look at that. Okay, so we've got out your first attempt.
That was done an hour ago.
Was it? And what you've done is you've machined a groove here.
That's a 3/4 groove.
And what's that for, Jeff?
Well, what we're doing, I've just working out as you've got some nuts.
Yes, I've just got some.
This is now is going to be that finicky thing. When the studs are in the case,
yeah,
that will go on there like that. So basically, I'll have 16 of them lock nuts all the way
on the inside.
We have actually got to put it on the rotary and then take the 2 ends out. Right. It'll probably leave a little bit of a mark here and there, but to try and do that in one operation. Yeah.
And these nuts, of course, these fasteners are actually UNF.
I've used UNC.
Sorry, UNC.
UNC, yeah.
Which I just ordered you some of yours, so that's fine. Yeah. They'll be due, I think, on Saturday. Right, okay.
But then we can Loctite them into the case, and then that'll slide on, get the nuts on. Then when I come to bolt the other part on, it'll just be, probably just have to get a little spanner, hole the nut, and put the bolt in.
When you say bolt on the other part, you mean what?
There'll be a plate. What I'm hoping to do when that's on the bike is make a complete plate that I can bolt
to the bike.
The mounts, yeah.
Okay, to mount
the
Supercharger.
The snout on,
right.
yeah.
Okay, it's got a snout on.
So it'll be an end case mounting plate, all in one.
Great. Now, also you said there was a slight problem with the figure of 8 thing you made, that cover you made last week.
That was my test piece.
Yeah. So let's see why that's an issue. Let's move that out of the way. Put it back where it came from, gently.
It's not. I mean, it's usable. It's just what I wanted to do with it. As we can explain.
Let me just refocus then. Okay, so we've zoomed in now, and the problem is these holes are a little bit too close to the edge of the piece.
I think you can just see there on that is where the edge of the billet was. It was just a piece of plate that we had an offcut,
right?
And it's just not quite. When the Allen bolts go in, it's very little clearance.
Well, that's fine, except for the fact that you want to recess these heads into the aluminium. Yeah. And if you do that, you're going to run out of space here. There's not enough room.
I mean, if you bolt it on and leave them proud like that, it's fine. It'll do the job. But
you want to.
I want to sink them in.
Right. To do that, you need a bit more room around the outside, which means couple of mil.
Couple more mil just round there. Right. So when you know.
Yeah, which means making a new one of these slightly bigger.
I've got.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
We've got.
Show me. Oh yeah. Well, people can't see that. Well, so, so we've got a few plates that have already been prepared. And
which are a few mil bigger.
Yeah. And also you got your template.
I made the template so we can actually
just bolt it on and away you go.
No, actually, them 2 dowels. If you actually get now them 2 dowels, can this still see that?
Yeah. Oh, they're very accurately.
They're a good fit, and the way I drill that, rather than keep going back and to the miller, it was easier to
bolt that on.
Ooh, just do that like that.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's just a bit tight. There we go. Just wants tapping in. Just a little tight on there. So basically, you can put them all on that and drill all
you're
4
gonna do
holes.
all of them at the
Rather
same
than
time.
keep putting them back on the miller
Yeah,
and working out.
Yeah, you can do it on
It's
one go.
easier to have that, and then you just mark them with the drill.
Okay.
Because they're not absolutely. They've not got to be dowelled.
No. Well, they're good enough. But as I say, it means that this is a bit of an experiment as always.
That was the first one, yeah.
Test piece. It's not quite right. It will work, but you want to recess those heads, so you've got to make another one just a bit bigger. In fact, you've got to make 4 because you've got 4 of these things to do. Yeah. Okay,
and we found that. Whether
what's that?
it's an aluminium
Anodized blue.
Whether to actually take these out and actually fit 2 of them.
Have you got 2 of those?
I've only got 1.
That's how it is always. Yeah.
Actually, it'd be nice if we could get some brass ones.
Yeah, well, we can look.
Because you can get them quite, if the smaller they are.
Yeah, I think you can go for some sort of plumbing ones, you know, using plumbing, whatever.
I mean, if you could get them for, say, a couple of quid each.
Well, if you tell me what you want, I'll have a look online and see what we can find.
Something like that in brass.
Something like that, okay.
If it's got something like a 20mm thread or something around that, 3/4 thread, it'll be ideal.
Okay. And so it's not been long since we last taped some video, which I put up online. Well, where are we? Just actually yesterday, I think it was. So actually not much has happened since then.
So we're just working out the distances for these things.
Yeah. Yes, your
our ball cutter is 1/2 inch.
Which is what, 12?
30. Well, trying to work with 1/2 inch, 12.7. It can. So it's virtually. What I want to do is start with it in the middle and then go either side.
Yeah.
So you've got your 6mm. Put 4 grooves in it. And it should leave at 16. Well, we've got 54.
And again, that's to put grooves in the side of this case here. Yeah.
If the 2 end bits where the bolts go are a little bit wider, I'm not too bothered about that. As long as it's even.
Yeah.
91 minus 52 equals 39. 39 minus 18. Minus 18 is 21. So basically, they'll be the 2 end pieces will be 10.5 thick.
Well,
which I don't mind. That's
as long as it's
good.
The same either side.
As long as it can equal. I mean, if one ends up at 10.
No one's going to care about that.
By the time you put your grooves there and then I mean, they'll be both on each side, but then you've got to turn it round and do it.
Okay. Now, before we carry on then, let's go and see why you're putting grooves in, because you've done the same thing
with the barrel.
With the cylinder barrel, on your Honda. So let's look at that now.
Well, not only that, you're getting weight off it as well. It's decorative and
useful. Form and function. Okay, so there is one of Jeff's homemade barrels, billet barrels, which have been machined with these grooves in it. Not so much for cooling, just for looks, because this thing's a drag bike and it'll never, hopefully, be running long enough to overheat.
It won't overheat.
No. So anyway, that's why those supercharger cases are going to be machined in the same way, just to match that.
The greatest thing when you're at a sprint meeting is if you're running nitromethane, you don't have to wait in a queue.
You
just go to them and say, right, I'm ready for a run. And everyone has to hang back while you wheel to the line, and you go.
Stand back and watch you explode your engine as it grenades on the line.
I've never done that yet.
Oh well, no have I.
Wrecked a few valves and clutches
and gearboxes,
pistons, but never blown it up.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's what's happening at the moment, and we'll come back in a few days' time and see.
There's bits of machining to do.
Yeah. So and there's bits of tea to drink. So I'll do that, and then we'll come back another day. Okay, so here we are now, Jeff, a few days later, and I see you've got that first supercharger case.
No, this is the third.
Oh, third one, sorry.
Yeah, we dropped a bollock with the first one.
Oh, well, we won't mention that one.
Well, mention. I don't know. It was.
Well, it's over there.
It's decorative. It's a decorative bollock, and
so it doesn't really matter.
This, I must have to say, is one of the most. You've got to keep your wits about your machining jobs in all of the process that we've been doing.
Yes. And not have me talking to you while you're doing it.
Oh no, that's okay. That because it's certain people that turn up that.
Oh yeah, good on you.
You want to give up the will to live.
Oh yeah. Well, we won't mention that. Okay, so
we're actually putting these ball grooves in it.
Yes. Yeah, we sure you're marking it out before a few days ago, and now you're busily doing that. So the principle is you bolted it to your small
rotary table.
And get it all aligned, and then use your horizontal miller to just grind off that gap.
the thing is with these machines, as we were saying, you're working out of sight.
Yeah, you've got to go behind.
And
okay, so come round the other side, and so now we can see that cutter doing its thing. And just saying, just going to do one more polish cut now.
Because it's only a two slotted cutter, it leaves a bit of a rough finish on one side. So if you just run it back over, it just takes a very light polish cut and it just smooths it off a bit. I mean, to look at them, you can tell they're hand done. And even on a CNC, I think this would be a very difficult process to achieve on a CNC machine.
Well, I like the fact you can still see it's hand done. It's got some machine marks on it. It shows it's not just been knocked out of some workshop somewhere in a factory in China. So
you can have a look at the little disaster I made.
Oh, that's all right.
If you look at them close, you can see a few ripples and a few little marks. You'll never get the machining as perfect as a CNC.
No.
But this is, I mean, it's decorative. And some people may say, oh, I got a few little marks and things like that.
I don't mind it at all. I just think it shows it's been handmade. Okay, so while you do that, apart from drinking tea and eating biscuits, I'm going to have a look at the ones you've already done on the workbench. Okay, so here we are now, Jeff, a few days later, and I see you've got that first Supercharger case.
No, this is the third.
Oh, third one, sorry.
Yeah, we dropped a bollock with the first one.
Oh, well, we won't mention that one.
Well, mention. I don't know.
Oh, well.
It was.
Oh, it's over there.
It's decorative. It's a decorative bollock, and
so it doesn't really matter.
This, I must have to say, is one of the most. You've got to keep your wits about your machining jobs in all of the process that we've been doing.
And not have me talking to you while you're doing it.
Oh no, it's that's okay because it's certain people that turn up that you want to give up the will to live.
Oh yeah. Well, we won't mention that. Okay, so
we're actually putting these ball grooves in it.
Yes. Yeah, we sure you're marking it out before a few days ago, and now you're busily doing that. So the principle is you've bolted it to your small
rotary table.
And get it all aligned, and then use your horizontal miller to just grind off that gap.
The thing is with these machines, as we were saying, you're working out of sight.
Yeah, you've got to go behind.
And
okay, so come round the other side, and so now we can see that cutter doing its thing. And just saying, just going to do one more polish cut now.
Because it's only a two slotted cutter. It leaves a bit of a rough finish on one side, so if you just run it back over, it just takes a very light polish cut and it just smooths it off a bit. I mean, to look at them, you can tell they're hand done. And even on a CNC, I think this would be a very difficult process to achieve on a CNC machine.
Well, I like the fact you can still see it's hand done. It's got some machine marks on it. It shows it's not just been knocked out of some workshop somewhere in a factory in China. So
you can have a look at the little disaster I made.
Oh, that's all right.
If you look at them close, you can see a few ripples and a few little marks. You'll never get the machining as perfect as a CNC.
No.
But this is, I mean, it's decorative. And some people may say, oh, I got a few little marks and things like that.
I don't mind it at all. I just think it shows it's been handmade. Okay, so while you do that, apart from drinking tea and eating biscuits, I'm going to have a look at the ones you've already done on the workbench. And so, where's the thing you went wrong with?
This one, I've just bolted them two cases on for the time being.
That
I've deburred it all. That one's worked out fantastic.
Yeah, it looks nice. And you can see there that gap in the middle to clear the...
everything round.
Yeah.
All round there.
Yeah.
Even though the scribe line that we did put on, it's come past a little bit. It doesn't matter because you've still got your gasket. It was only a guide. They're only a guide to say, So that one has worked out beautiful. But the first one we did...
The Mark 1 version.
You probably can't notice it. Is it there?
Well, you've got a little bit of a rough...
Yeah.
Well, it's alright.
Not bad, what did he do? He put it on the rotary table.
I don't think it's too bad.
He put a shim under it, a disc to get the clearance, and a piece the same gauge. And when he's bolted it down here, as he started to mill, I've took off fraction heavy of a cut, and it's pulled the job.
Yeah, it's moved it.
It's actually physically lifted it off the spigot.
Yeah, you can see there where it's
run
rough.
down. It's decorative.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, but this is the learning curve.
Yes, yeah.
And then I worked that out. I thought, so instead of taking, I've had to take many light cuts off.
Yes, yeah, just take it easy.
And then what did I do? I set it up again, and doing my first light cut, I didn't go the right way.
Oh, you've gone.
I've gone through.
Oh well. Yeah, but you've now gone through all the way. So
I've done it through all of them.
So
a light cut.
Yeah, it looks quite nice actually.
And
I don't mind.
To look at that there, you probably would. Most people say, "Oh, that's all right."
Yeah. It's like a feature.
So
it's not a problem. It's a feature.
This was the learning curve. This one, when you're first doing stuff like this.
Okay. But this second one went okay.
That one, I did it in peace and quiet. I had to shut the gate, pull the doors to, turn my phone off,
and just get on with it.
And just.
And now you're doing the third one. With lots of interruptions from me.
But the third one's got 5 grooves in it because it's wider.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's the planning of working out
where they all gone. Yeah. So if we now compare that and that,
them are both the same.
That's got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's the same. But that one over there.
That one there's got 4. That's having 5 grooves in, where this has got 4 grooves.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I didn't want to do, obviously, I don't want to go too far to the edge here and burst into the bolt holes.
No.
Which they've all worked out nice. You don't see the holes.
No.
Which, if they had have just popped through a little bit, I suppose it wasn't
a feature.
Wouldn't matter. But
yeah, and actually, let's see, you've got this one now.
Well, once I've done all the ball grooves on these,
no, I'm looking at this thing we saw before, where you've grooved this to get the.
Yeah. I need to take another mil or two off each of the faces.
Yeah. I've actually ordered you 100 UN, and they're due today, but they've not arrived yet. So no doubt they might be here when I get home. Who knows?
We'll find some money.
Yeah. Oh, not about that. It's about 10, I think. Anyway, so that's good. Anything else been going on this last few days?
No, I've just been getting on with them. Oh yes, I found some brass.
Oh,
I got your message.
Oh yeah.
And I went on eBay and typed in, and I've got some 1/2 inch. Is it 1/2 inch or 3/8 BSP brass bungs
plugs
with a built-in washer?
Yeah.
There was 1/2 inch BSP, 1 inch BSP.
Yeah. I actually looked for 20 mil. You
inch
said
and a half BSP.
Yeah.
You go to the 2 inch BSP ones, which is where they were about bloody 30 or 40 quid a piece.
No, but what was interesting was I was looking for things with a M20 thread, because you were looking for that sort of size, and I did find a few that I sent you on email. And one I did find that was really cool would be, it's for the bottom bracket cover on a bicycle, on like a mountain bike.
Yeah.
The problem is, I got really cool, like, in about £5. The problem is the hollow. Which is like, if they weren't hollow, they'd be absolutely spot on. But anyway,
but these brass, I thought these, I think the 3/8 BSP. I've ordered a couple.
Yeah.
They're £2.50 each.
Oh, that's not bad, is it? Yeah.
So if they're too small, if they look too small, then I'll get a couple of 1/2 inch. But I thought a couple of brass fittings in the end. It looks
bit retro.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but
not quite steampunk, but
they won't be that big, because actually what I like about them, they've got the washer part is sort of built in with the hex, which is what I like.
Okay.
So up to there now.
That's what's been going on.
That's
what's been going happening.
Okay. 3 of these that can go into storage now.
Yeah.
Into the spares department.
Into the spares department for another 20 years. And then when we're all dead, someone will say, what the hell is this junk here? Put it in the bin.
Someone will come in.
Scrap it.
That'll go in a skip.
Yeah. Well, I won't skip it, probably might get scrapped or something. Yeah. Okay, so here we are, back in Jeff's workshop. A week's gone by since my last visit. And I see you now busily machining out the end case.
We've finished on the little horizontal for the time being, and now we've got it set up on here. To mill all these sections out.
And what's the point of doing that? Why are you doing that? Is it necessary just to look?
To make it
look nice.
Look nice and get rid of weight.
Okay, so if I just go up a little bit, you can maybe see the shape there just starting
to
come up, Okay, so we've taken a break from you milling the end case there, and now we've got another piece.
I did this a couple of days ago.
Yeah, of the Supercharger case, and so that's now been machined out quite nicely to take the bearings.
We've done it on the little horizontal with a two, you know, a slot.
Oh yeah,
a slot
Now
mill.
the last time I was here, you had a slot just there,
Yeah.
and now you're taking it all the way round.
It was a 3/4 slot, so I've actually put it on the horizontal, so it's like that.
Yeah, and
then milled it round.
right.
With a 20 mil. There is, if you look close, you can see little steps, but that's on as long. The critical parts are your gasket faces and all the bearing fits.
Yeah.
There is some decorative machining on it that.
Okay, and the way
you'd have to spend.
The reason for doing
hours
that
to
is
clear
because you can have studs that go in the.
Well, there'll be studs on the case.
Yeah, that'll come through here.
Which will come through. So
And then-
that'll slide on. We can put our nuts on.
And then there'll be something on the side.
The other side, we'll just push a bolt in. You'll probably have to just hold the nut.
Yeah,
push
very
it.
fiddly.
Yeah.
So
but
basically, there'll
it's
be a
fiddly,
row.
but it'll-
There'll be a row
it'll do.
of a pair of
Yeah.
UNC. What is it? Quarter inch.
Quarter nuts each side.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, looks very nice.
So I've opened that out to clear the gears.
What are these little holes for? Just to lose some
I'll
weight.
explain.
Okay, there's a
While I
reason.
had it set up.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
There is a reason, but while it was set up,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when the shafts are in now, we've just got our perfect room for our gears.
Right. They're the gears that link them together.
Yeah,
Right,
they'll be on the shaft. Yeah, I think that one should go the other way. That will be that way.
Yeah.
But while it was in, because that was thick block, I just decided to get the 20 mil cutter
and just lose some weight.
You always get people saying, "Well, is it worth it doing that? Is it worth it doing that?" And if you multiply it over a bike,
Oh yeah.
you know,
about
it's like
50
carrying
grams or something. So.
you're saving a lot of money. Yeah.
Okay, so we grabbed one of the cases, the whole thing. So is that side going to be the same as this side?
No, that's one of the end ones that we're going to mill with the sections in.
Okay.
I just that's the test one that I'm running through the test one.
We're working on right now,
just to make sure all the, you know, I get all the info and stuff right.
Yeah, so it looks pretty good. Okay, and next to it is something else you've been working on for quite a while, which is or are, if we move that out of the way, out of shot,
Move that back over
there, and we can bring in these lovely things. These are the Conrods, your homemade Conrods, billet Conrods, and you're saying you've just now started to put the...
We've used the big cutter where that step was. I've polished them in, and I've put our ball cutter in.
Yeah, to lose some weight. And
yeah, that's actually radiused. What we've got to do after is we have that little cutter,
you put it down.
and that is a radius cutter. It needs many operations
To round off this edge here.
We can do every operation apart. Them are going to be the difficult ones.
Yeah, where it just
to get them
right.
I can finish the cutter about, obviously, at a point. To get them with the equipment we've got, it's
tricky.
I'm going to have to set them up on the rotary table to get the curve right.
Yeah.
So
okay, and just to remind everybody, what are these Conrods actually for?
well, they were going in the comp bike.
Comp bike.
Yeah.
Now, by comp bike, do you mean what I call a spares bike? The spares bike.
stroke.
The spares bikes.
Yeah.
The famous spares
Or
bike.
I could
which
use
is-
them in a road motor.
Yeah.
The only thing I've worked out is he's going to have to Dremel cases a bit once they're done.
Yeah,
they
because
want a
they're
few
so-
mil.
because they're so fat.
Yeah, to just to get some clearance on the back.
Yeah, and just to remind everybody, the small ends have been made.
They want reaming now to suit.
Yeah, so they
They're at
Fuzzy bronze?
They're that PB1
right, PB1, and at this end, it's actually the remnants or
of the original Conrod.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Oh, there goes the air compressor.
machine.
Yeah, so which you cut off and then ground the outside off to get it in
They've
here.
all been fitted in, yeah.
Yeah, okay, great stuff. And what else?
That's well.
And
So when the rotary table's free,
you can,
I can do all.
and you haven't just got one set of four. You've got about
There's 5 sets.
5 sets.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
The thing is, once you set up for doing one and the in and out, as long as you, it's quite easy. Once you know where you're going with stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Cutting on an angle, that could take a fair amount. If I had the other miller,
if you move your finger, we can see what we're talking about. So this here, this little squared angle here, needs to be angled this way.
from somewhere about there to
Yeah, you want to slope it down.
I'm going to trim them off. Probably the easiest way to do it would just be to hacksaw them and file them.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's not got to be.
It's handmade, Jeff. It's handmade.
Yeah.
You want it to look a bit retro, don't you? So
yeah.
It wouldn't be
This originally, when these were made for these superchargers, it had just been a casting.
Yeah, yeah, rough casting. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so we'll leave you to carry on making that. We'll come back next week yet again, and hopefully we'll see the whole thing together at last. Okay.
Well, this'll be finished. This one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we'll leave it there.
Hope we haven't bored you too much.
No. So thanks for watching, and cheers.